that's a really interesting investment opportunity. These companies will have unprecedented disruption potential. Where are they going? How are they competing? AI is changing dramatically. Previously, AI systems gave us quick but often unreliable answers, like impulsive, inexperienced interns. Now, AI reasoning models think deeply and carefully, more like thoughtful and experienced experts.
This shift mirrors Daniel Kahneman's idea of thinking fast and thinking slow. So we're now dealing with AI that can reason, analyze, and act deliberately. This is going to lead to greater accuracy and profound implications for businesses.
Older AI models are like interns. Think of them as quick but relatively error-prone. They hallucinate. You couldn't really trust their output. You have to check. We're talking about recent AI reasoning models like OpenAI O3 for advanced logic and scientific reasoning, or DeepSeek R1 for financial analysis and problem solving, even Anthropic's Claude for nuanced dialogue and thoughtful reasoning. These deeper models take longer to produce output. They reason iteratively through their responses, and as a result, they are able to generate responses that are dramatically better than previous models.
Yeah, when you see these models, what they do is they really go through and logically think much like we would do as a human. This is a big step change in where we've come from to where we're going. Before we used to prompt and really try and help the AI to work out. Now what we're doing is we're setting the AI a goal. We're shifting from really telling the AI what to do to letting the AI think logically about what it is. That's why we believe this is a really big step forward in the impact to businesses.
Here's a useful framework we use at Empress Capital to reason through this landscape. So we think of older models as interns. They're quick, the quality is not so good, they're relatively cheap, but you definitely need to check their output.
AI reasoning models are more like PhD level experts. They're slower, more considered, but they connect data from different fields and learn autonomously. They generate new questions and insights and really iterate on this. Now, if we look at some of the leaderboards, you can see so many of these models are at PhD level intelligence.
So we had the intern, we have the experts. The next evolution is the agent. Think of it as an AI system not only able to reason and iteratively refine its own understanding of the task and the problem, it actually is able to execute tasks independently. These systems will have a profound effect on industry.
Now, at first, we see investors see this as a way to cut costs, doing the same work cheaper. Companies are realizing they can use AI to really increase productivity, to really shift the way their whole business works. And we see market dynamics shifting quite dramatically for those companies that can embrace it. And that's why we feel this is a great space to be investing in.
Real disruption will come from entirely new companies that are built from scratch around these new capabilities. These AI native firms don't just compete with their legacy peers. They will leapfrog the competition entirely.
The combination of thinking fast and thinking slow models, so we talk about the interns and the experts working together. The experts can really give the interns work to do. And so this is going to be a really fundamental shift. And also the cost to do this will change dramatically, being able to use cheaper models for different aspects. And we saw with DeepSeek, these models, the costs are coming right down. And when the barrier to entry in this is becoming a lot lower, this is going to proliferate. And we often talk about this as the PC moment in AI, where we see, previously we had mainframes going to PCs. What happened was that more and more software was developed, and we see more and more AI being used and the companies developing solutions around this.
Here's an example. Think about an investment bank that produces research to its clients. In the past, you would have desks of analysts, and they would spend their days and weeks researching companies, producing reports, and essentially shipping them to their clients. Now think about an AI reasoning models that can do deep research, that can produce pretty much equivalent quality of research as a senior analyst. So what's going to happen? Will those investment banks fire 90% of their analysts and replace them with AI models? They may think about it, but their competition is also using the same technology. So what's going to happen is more likely that the productivity of everyone investment, analysts teams will be just go through the roof, and they will still compete against each other. That's a very interesting market dynamic. But what we're interested in as a VC is to find those companies that don't even have legacy desks of analysts and to go AI first. Where are they going? How are they competing? We think that's a really interesting investment opportunity because these companies will have unprecedented disruption potential in their respective markets.
And particularly if you add specific data that is really owned by that company or specific insights that can be generated from that, we think is a really interesting space. And so if you can combine not just public information, but information, the data that you're able to generate, this is going to be super powerful. But equally, workflows using this, in addition, is going to streamline the way we operate and create some new businesses that are going to disrupt industries that are already there. So the question is, if everyone has access to these advanced AI models, the question for us really becomes, where is the competitive advantage? And the answer lies in investing in AI native companies. So companies that disrupt themselves will start off that way using AI throughout their business. And we think the strengths of reasoning AI within that is going to be really what differentiates future businesses.
At Empress Capital, we're already embracing this new way of thinking. We believe this is where the next billion-dollar opportunity will emerge from. Here's an example. Cursor. It went from 1 to 100 million ARR in 12 months. It's the fastest SaaS in history. It's a good example because it shows you the power of AI native disruption. The competitor, Microsoft VS Code, added AI to boost productivity. But what Cursor did, they started with AI without the legacy baggage of the organization and the product features. And as a result, we're able to completely reimagine the developer workflow. Instead of just speeding things up, Cursor used reasoning AI to actively suggest strategies, solve problems, even generate full software features. That's the difference between incremental improvement and leapfrogging the competition.
And this is just the beginning.